Welcome back to TransGuyReacts. I make videos about women's basketball, and today I'm talking about the WNBA game for October 18th. This was a finals game, Liberty versus Lynx, game 4 of a best of 5. Another whiteout game for the Lynx. 19,000 people strong, sold out. The Liberty were up 2, the Lynx only up 1, so they just needed Liberty need to win this game, and they could have won the championship. But as y'all probably already know, that did not happen. It was after a thrilling game 3, which was so exciting. Did unexpected win for the New York Liberty. Sabrina really killed it right on that game. We got into this game, which is more of the same. You had the WNBA countdown starting the show with LaChina Robinson, Andrea Carter, and Carolyn Peck. And then they did their thing in the beginning. And then you had Ryan Rucco, Rebecca Rollobo, and Holly Rowe on the call, which I don't love. I've talked about that many times. I don't love them as the commentators, but they're there. What can I do? In the first quarter, you had both teams going tit for tat. Okay, it was back and forth, very close game. Alana Smith was in the game, even though she seemed pretty injured from the last game. She was limping at some points in this game, but they ended this quarter 23-23. And things to note about that: Breanna Stewart did not have any field goal. She didn't score at all in the first quarter. Going to the second quarter, it's pretty much of the same. Tit for tat. What I did notice, though, was when Niara Sabli was on the floor for New York, she was the only one rebounding for the Liberty, and then also Leonie Fiebich was also making some really clutch shots. So I would say in this situation, the Germans are keeping the New York Liberty in the game for sure. Unfortunately, Natisha Heidemann injured her hand on a play and had to go out. And that's for the Lynx. Breanna Stewart ends up picking up her 4th foul, and she only made 2 shots in the second quarter itself. And they were like double and triple teaming her and calling her for a lot of fouls that I don't know if I really agree with. A lot of touch fouls. That second quarter ended 45-46, still very close. You go to halftime. LaChina, Andrea, Carolyn doing their breakdown. Come back into the game. Third quarter, it's a very tight quarter again. Natisha Heidemann is back in the game with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left. They tape up her right thumb. Good thing it's her non-shooting hand. She's a left-hander, so southpaw, so she's fine. But I'm thinking she either dislocated her thumb or it's broken, unfortunately. The Liberty are able to go on a run. They go on a 9-0 run, and then they force the Lynx to have a whole bunch of turnovers. Stewart does end up picking her 4th foul with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. She has to sit, and I have to say, almost like at this point, I'm like, all of her fouls are like touch fouls. I don't know if they should have been called because they weren't calling them on other people, Lynx or Liberty. They weren't calling these calls. They were only calling it on Stewart, so I don't know what that was about. The Lynx are able to tie the game. They come back on like a 9-2 run, and then things to note about this: Courtney Williams is gassed in this game. There's several times, or 2 times at least, they had to sit her because she was so out of breath. And the Lynx were missing a lot of free throws. Weird. Into this quarter, 63-64. Again, just a 1-point advantage. We go into the 4th quarter. I have to say at this point, I don't care for the officiating in the second half. Definitely more in Lynx' favor, but still it's a tight game. There's 5 minutes left. Both teams are playing incredibly sloppy. There's turnovers, there's missed shots, but it becomes a tie game again. New York were able to come back. It's 80-80. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Breanna Stewart was unable to make this layup for the lead, and it becomes a shot clock violation. It's 18 seconds left, and Lynx have the ball. They miss the shot, but on the putback, Sabrina ends up fouling Bridget Carlton, and Bridget Carlton gets to go to the free throw line. She makes both. 80-82. You have 2 seconds left. The Liberty take a timeout to advance the ball. Sabrina goes for the 3, and it's off. It does hit the backboard, but it's off, and the Lynx win this game. And we're going to game 5, which is unfortunate because, no offense to the Lynx, they're a great team, but I mean, they already have 4 championships. I don't really care for them to win the 5th. I don't really care about that. It's more exciting if New York wins because this will be their first ever, and they're a legacy team. They started the league in 1997, and they don't have any championships. So it'd be really great if the Liberty would win, and you could say, hey, this is good. They're going back to their home court. They could win on home court, but I don't know. At this point, I'm not positive that they're going to win this game. I hope they do. I really don't want the Lynx to win. And of course, at the end of the freaking game, the Lynx did their what do you call it? The electric slide, which is so cringy, so goddamn cringy, but they did it. They did the electric slide, and everyone, my wife calls it the Alumni Association, because the average Lynx fan is probably like 40 or 50 years old. They are old, and they love these old school dances and the cringiness. But anyway, let's look at the box score real quick. But Nigelene Hamilton had 10 points. Breanna Stewart had 11 points and 11 rebounds for a double-double. Jungle Jones had 21 points, 8 rebounds. Leonie Fiebich had 19 points. Sabrina Ionescu had 10. And so those were the big hitters for Liberty. For the Lynx, Bridget Carlton had 12 points. Nafisa Collier had 14 points and 9 rebounds. Atlanta Smith had 12 points, 7 rebounds. Kayla McBride had 19 points. Courtney Williams had 15. And Celia Zandalasini had 6 points. So, pretty, I mean, it's a tight game. Everyone was playing okay. They were kind of, both sides were really sloppy, but they played well enough. But it was just came down to those last few possessions, and Liberty weren't able to pull it out. So we're going to game 5. I'll see y'all on Thursday, okay? I hope it's good news. That's all I can say.